Welcome back to the Journey Podcast. Today I have an episode talking about creativity and freedom, and it comes from an inspiration of an Instagram post that I saw from a mentor of mine. His name is Ravi Abuvala, and this is someone that I look up to in the space. I learn a lot from him, and it also goes into some lessons that I was having with the client this last month, talking about inspiration, motivation, momentum, where that comes from, and how you can actually create more of it in your business. Now, I'm going to start with the actual challenge that my client was facing, then go into the Instagram post that I saw, and then go into my diagnosis after that. So what was happening with my client was that we had grown to scale her business out. We worked one-on-one. I helped her hire a virtual assistant. I helped her hire an assistant coach. And so she was now partly removed from her business, but she was still feeling like, she was doing the mundane. She was in a routine. It was day after day, and she kind of just felt uninspired. She wasn't, she didn't just have like the motivation, energy to really show up the way she needed to. And she knew that she wasn't acting as she needed to in order for her business to really grow. And it wasn't that she was a lot under stress, but she kind of just felt dull and numb to the motions of the chapter she was in her business. And trust me, guys, I've been here before. I've done it. I've been there many, many times. But what we actually talked about actually ended up being very similarly to the Instagram post that I saw from Ravi Abuvala. So now I'm going to read the Instagram post that I read, and then I'll give you guys my diagnosis. So reading off the post here, if you guys are on or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see my phone here. It says, don't mistake activity for productivity. One makes you look like you're making money. The other actually makes you money. For years, I wanted to be busy, in quotations. Right? I would fill any free time in my calendar with some type of activity, whether it be emails, scrolling on social media, checking Slack, thinking I was being productive. It's only later that I learned the difference between the two. Productivity requires creativity. Creativity requires freedom. So freedom requires space for your mind to roam. If you look at your calendar and you have meetings, activities filled up every hour of the day, it might feel like you're being productive, but in reality, you're just being active. If you're just starting out, sure, probably you do need to do all the active all the time. If you're out of the initial hustle phase, but you're still doing everything yourself, take a step back. Right? Identify 1 to 2 things that you need to, or 1 to 3 things that you need to do daily to drive the business forward, eliminate or delegate everything else. That's the one of the best things about my job. And then he goes into talking about, actually, I'll just read the whole thing. Because within a few weeks of working with a client, they all of a sudden have most of the major problems solved. They have customer acquisition on autopilot, and they keep on getting sucked into busy work. I'll tell them to stop and give yourself room to breathe, to think, to make strategic decisions about the future of the company. They always reply the same way. I feel like I'm doing nothing. Right? Sometimes nothing is the best thing that you can do. Nothing has given me ideas for new product lines. Nothing has given me inspiration for YouTube videos. Nothing has allowed me to plan for 5 years instead of 5 days into the future. The most successful companies in the world are run by people who spend a good part of the week doing nothing. Now, I freaking love that, because that is something that I have been experiencing myself a lot lately. If you guys look at a day of my life, I will tell you, I do nothing for most part of the day, right? I don't really do much. I wake up at 6 a.m. I train at 7. I'm done training by 9. I have a team meeting that's done by 10. I've already posted by 10. Everything I need to do is done by 10. And so from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., I do nothing. Literally, I do nothing. I take a nap. I read a book. I walk my dog. I don't really do much. But what this post is saying is that as a CEO and as a business owner, you need that space, because that's where strategic planning for the future comes into play. That's also where inspiration and ideas for new products or ideas for new pieces of content come into play. If I was busy going one task over and over and over again, I wouldn't even have time to think about the future or plan the future. But because my calendar is completely open and I don't do much, I have room in the mental space for new ideas to come and for me to craft these new ideas. I'm able to work on the business instead of working in the business. And so how this ties back to my client is that she was like, I don't really have inspiration. I don't really feel motivated. I don't really feel like I'm just doing the mundane thing over and over and over again. I told her, take a fucking vacation. Literally check out for an entire week. Your business will be fine. Check out for an entire week and allow yourself and allow your brain to open up for you to take in new ideas and take in new stimulus and get a fresh change of things. You can take a step back from your business in order for you to get remotivated. Every single night, I'll tell you guys, every single night I go and take my dog for a walk. And because I'm on a walk with my dog's freaking crazy. I can't take my phone out very often. So it's just me and my dog. We're walking for like an hour and I obviously can't talk to my dog. And so I think a lot. And in those times of thinking, I come up with new ideas. I'm able to, manifest and visualize what I want in the future. And I do this every single day. I make time for it as if it's a task that I need to do. Most people don't ever take the time to think about where they're going in the future or have the time to be able to, mentally map that out. And so if you're in the position to where you feel uninspired and you feel unmotivated and you feel like you're doing the monotonous day-to-day, day in, day out, take a break, take a step back. Creativity requires freedom. That's what I got from that Instagram post. I thought it was so, so perfect. And I want to encourage you guys, if you guys are a business owner, like you mentioned, if you're in the beginning and you need to go in the hustle phase, definitely do it. But once you're able to scale out, take a step back and don't feel guilty for having free time, right? That free time is actually what's going to lead your business into the future. So with that being said, guys, hope this lesson sought you well. We will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.